Now at 6 o'clock, the Trump administration says the federal government will start collecting on defaulted student loans, and they'll start doing it soon. We'll let you know how soon coming up. Plus,
it was obviously hard to believe. Still is.
We're hearing from the sister of a college softball coach who was killed in a car crash while driving the team home.
And jury selection is underway for the retrial of an Uber driver accused of killing a man in downtown Portland during a road rage incident. Why jurors could not reach a unanimous decision during the last trial.
And local Catholics mourn the passing of Pope Francis.
I was totally shocked by it, and I'm gonna miss him.
What's next for the Catholic Church as the conclave preps to find his successor? The 6 o'clock hour of sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Tuesday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis, Rod Hill checking in for duty here at the top of the hour. Rod, let's start with you and your Tuesday forecast.
Yeah, light duty for me. The only headline really is we're watching chilly temperatures this morning. Remember, a frost advisory in effect for the Valley, Southwest Washington, parts of the Gorge. Most of you are waking up into the 30s. Here you can see the blue skies over the city. PDX out along the Columbia with a calm wind has been one of the outliers, sitting at 43. It's 41 in downtown Portland, but 34 in Beaverton. It is freezing up in Battleground, and could be some light frost out in Forest Grove with a temp of 35, and the same thing over in Sandy with a temp of 33. So far, Salem holding well above at 38, but maybe some light frost out around Estacada. All right, our forecast moving forward. We keep the sun all day. A little bit warmer than yesterday, 61. I have us 55 at noon, and today's high 65. Here's Chris.
That looks lovely. All right, let's get you out the door. We'll zoom in real quick. Overnight bridge inspection on the Markham Bridge that has wrapped up. I-5 has reopened. Just a reminder that that stretch of I-5 between 405 and the Markham Bridge closes every night this week for that inspection. Highway 26 right now out at Sylvan Hill. That looks pretty good. Door number 3, we'll switch gears and take you over to the Banfield. That too is in pretty good shape. China and Drew, so far, no major unexpected freeway trouble out there just yet.
Thank you, Chris. Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue are mopping up an overnight fire at a home in Beaverton. Crews responded just before 5 this morning to a home on Southwest 130th Avenue. They say the fire was out in less than 30 minutes and say no one was inside. Crews will stay on scene to monitor the hotspots.
Police say a car hit and killed a pedestrian in North Portland last night. When officers arrived at North Going Street and Port Center Way just before 10:30, they say the person who was hit was already dead. The driver stayed on the scene and is cooperating with police.
Our next story affects millions of student loan borrowers across the country. The Department of Education announced that people who have fallen behind on federal student loan payments must now start repaying them or face a debt collector.
Borrowers don't have a lot of time to start making those payments either. Collections will begin in about 2 weeks on Monday, May 5th. Sunrise reporter Ashley Graham joins us live from the campus of Portland State with more on this. Good morning there, Ashley.
Yeah, Drew, China, good morning. The Department of Education says they have not collected on defaulted loans in 5 years. So this move would end a pandemic-era policy that lets loan defaults slide. The Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, she said, quote, American taxpayers will no longer be forced to serve as collateral for irresponsible student loan policies. McMahon went on to share that over 5 million borrowers have not made a monthly payment in over a year and are in default. We talked with some students at Portland State University to get their reaction, many of them concerned about what this could mean for them financially.
I am in the back of my head thinking, what am I going to do with this new debt when I'm out of here?
Everybody I know who's in school right now is working multiple jobs on top of school to make it work, just baseline.
I think it's negative. I think that it's not any cheaper than it was during the pandemic.
The Education Department is asking borrowers in default to do one of 3 things: contact the default resolution group to make a monthly payment, enroll in an income-driven repayment plan, or sign up for loan rehabilitation. If you need any more information about either of those 3 options, you can go to our website, kgw.com. Guys.
Ashley, thank you. A federal judge in Eugene has ordered the Trump administration to restore the visas of 2 international students studying in Oregon. The ACLU sued on behalf of an Oregon State PhD student from Mexico and a British graduate student at the University of Oregon, claiming that their visas were terminated without notice or explanation. According to the Oregonian, the judge asked federal lawyers what regulations they used to justify the terminations, but lawyers for the government said that they didn't have time to gather that information. The judge's decision blocks the students' deportations for 2 weeks while their status is restored.
We're just as curious as the government is about why this happened and how the government can fix it. And so we appreciate the judge standing up for these students and restoring the status quo for this 14-day period so we can get more information and help them vindicate their rights.
Attorneys for the students say that they now seek a preliminary injunction, which they say will provide more lasting protection.
Oregon State Senator Aaron Woods has died at the age of 75. The former tech executive was elected in 2022 and represented District 13, which includes Tigard, Wilsonville, Sherwood, and parts of Yamhill County. Woods was diagnosed with cancer in 2023 and took a leave of absence just last month to undergo treatment. Commissioners from the 3 counties covered in his district will appoint a successor to finish out his term. This morning, we're also hearing from the sister of J.B. Strins, the softball coach who died in a crash in Southern Oregon last Friday, right alongside freshman player Kylie Jones. Officials say Strins was driving her team back to Roseburg when another driver crossed the dividing lines and slammed into their bus. Jamie's sister said she poured her heart into building the softball program at Umpqua Community College, and even in her final moments, her sister says she was trying to comfort others.
It was obviously hard to believe. Still is. But I had heard even in her last few moments, she was trying to console someone else when she was the one that didn't make it. And it's who she was. She passed away Friday, and then Sunday morning, Easter morning, I get a package for my daughters. I have 2 daughters from her for Easter, and she was just so thoughtful.
According to court records, the driver of the Chevy Silverado that hit the team's bus has previous convictions for driving while suspended, speeding, and driving uninsured. He was also charged with DUI last March.
The former principal of St. Helens High School, who had been on administrative leave, has resigned amid a teacher sex abuse investigation. Katie Wagner is accused of failing to protect students from 2 teachers at the high school who are facing abuse charges. She's pleaded not guilty to mistreatment and misconduct charges. In a letter to families, the district says it will begin searching for a new principal.
All right, here's an update on the flooding last month in Harney County. At this point, all evacuation notices have been lifted. Flood risk along the Silvies River has dropped, and the Red Cross says it has closed its indoor shelter. Supplies and meals, though, will continue through Saturday, and well testing is still happening. Oregon is also extending the SNAP replacement request deadline to April 30th for anyone who lost any SNAP food in last month's floods.
Speaking of SNAP, since you said there was a cold snap happening this morning?
Yeah, frost advisory up for the valley this morning. By the way, the river level on the Silvies River out in Harney County running about 2 feet below flood stage right now, and it is continuing to slowly recede. Flood stage there is 12 feet. The river's running at 10, and again the level's going down. So good news. All right, we have beautiful clear sky morning, as China mentioned. That is leading to some cold temperatures out the door. Here's Snookwynn's Casino Resort in Lincoln City. 42, that's not bad, and there's a pretty shot. Sun not quite up yet. We're about 5 minutes away from sunrise, but there it is from the Chehalem tasting room, looking off to the east this morning. And there you can see the chilliness, 38 degrees. And our temperature map shows mostly in the 30s at this hour. It is 40 in downtown Portland, but Beaverton and Hillsboro each just 2 degrees above freezing. Battleground is sitting at 32. Again, concerned that there could be some spotty, light, frosty areas. Concerned because of early spring flowers out, that type of thing. 35 out in Dallas this morning. Going to be a beautiful day today. Everybody's dry and everybody's sunny. We've got 50s out east, although Pendleton is warmer at 60. Same in Madras, 60. It'll be mid-60s up and down I-5 out through the gorge, and then 50-degree temperatures along the coast today. Winds generally northwest 5 to 15 miles per hour. Here's Portland's 7-day. Pretty good run of sun coming and some warming temperatures. Yesterday it was 61, today 65. Tomorrow you'll definitely feel the warmer numbers, 72. Thursday goes to 76. We see increasing cloudiness later in the day Thursday, and then chances of rain start either in the evening or the overnight hours. Friday still looks to be a day that potentially carries some heavy showers of thunderstorms And then showers, but no storm threat over the weekend, with temperatures back down to the low 60s on Saturday and Sunday. And that is your forecast.